Welcome back. Finally got the SM465 and 205 rebuilt and reassembled. I got a new bell housing because the old one was cracked, and I'm also switching up how I'm doing the hydraulic throw out. Before I used a Novak adapters kit that goes for all these Muncie 4-speeds. Actually, I think they have kits for all the manual transmissions, including the T18. So instead of doing an external slave cylinder, I'm choosing to change this up and do a hydraulic throw-out bearing. This is from Speedway Motors. Part number 910-25610. It's for Muncie 4-speeds, and I think a few GM 3-speeds as well. This will fit. So this deal just slides right over. You replace one of these studs or bolts with a stud, and this kind of it fits right in between here and just kind of sits in there idle. There's another guy, he builds square bodies. Keeps on changing his name. I think it's Dick's 4x4 right now. That's who I got this idea from. Seems to work pretty well. I've got an adapter from Advanced Adapters that goes from the 7/16 inverted flare line to an AN. It's going to go right on the stock Jeep clutch master cylinder. The old Advanced Adapters unit that bolted on the side of the transmission. I made, because I didn't properly measure the distance for throw-out bearing, I had to build a larger rod. So I got a 9/16 bolt, cut the head off, rounded it a little bit, and this is actually off of a CJ style. So this just slides right in, and it worked pretty good, but I decided I wanted to change it up a little bit. I think this will work pretty well. If you need to shim your throw-out bearing, you'll install your bell housing on your motor, and then you'll lay something flat across the back here where the surface mounts to the transmission, and you'll measure from that surface to the fingers of the clutch. And on the transmission side, you'll slide the hydraulic throw-out bearing onto it and then measure from the mounting surface to the actual bearing, this piece right here. And I believe that dimension needs to be 0.1 inch less than the dimension that's measured on the bell housing to the clutch. After measuring it all up, I'm using 5 shims. So the dimension B from this surface to the surface of the bearing, which I've already removed, was 2.85. And the dimension from the face of the bell housing to the clutch fork fingers was 2.91, which means this dimension B, is negative 0.06, or it's 0.06 less than dimension A, which the instructions recommend 0.1 to 0.05 less, to give yourself a little bit of room between the bearing and the clutch fork, or the clutch fingers. That way you don't have constant pressure, because if you have constant pressure on the pressure plate, you're going to burn up your clutch prematurely. I have run into a snag. The stud is just slightly too long. It's bottoming me out, and I don't want to put a couple washers in here, so I'm actually going to chop off about a 1/4 inch, a little less than a 1/4 inch off the threads, and then just fix them up with a file. Alright, so for all the parts I'm using, we've got the hydraulic throw-out bearing, which I bought in conjunction with their external bleeder kit. That way I don't have to reach inside the transmission to bleed it, which is going to be impossible. So this fitting is going to come out I'll put this adapter on, or no, excuse me, this hose will go directly onto this fitting. It's a dash 4 hose. And on the end of the hose, this adapter will go on to fit this 1/8 inch MPT fitting with a bleeder on it. So it's their external bleeder kit. And then, unfortunately, the only piece I could find to adapt the stock YJ clutch master cylinder is this advanced adapters 7/16 24 to -3. So this is going to go from the master cylinder to this hose, which is another advanced adapters part. 42-inch hose is what I measured out to be a good size. And then it'll go to this adapter that'll go from the -3 to the -4, which will screw right onto the inlet fitting.